coming to you live from Tennessee, from the east to the west. We are talking Cowboys everything. And you've just entered
the Cowboys Zone.
Welcome back and a happy holidays to all the Cowboy Zone fans. This is Marcus Jones coming to you live from Memphis, Tennessee.
And this is Lambo from Cowboys, y'all, out of Johnson City, Tennessee.
And we are back on another Victory Wednesday. That's right. We've won 2 games in a row for the first time all season, so we can officially say that the Cowboys are on a winning streak.
Man, it feels great. What's up, Jeff? And what's up, William? And Cole, what's good, man?
Yeah. Thank you guys for joining us. I see the viewers are getting up there pretty quickly.
It sure feels good to win back-to-back games.
Yeah. And in the fashion that we won them, too, in convincing fashion.
Yeah. Fun wins.
Getting 2 more. It's so funny when you think about it. Oh, thank you, Jeff. I'm about to put them on in a minute. I'm bored. I'm trying to see these comments, and I just realized
neither one of us got our glasses on.
I got to put mine on because these comments are getting kind of blurry, and I was like, why can't I see them like I normally do?
I'm wearing my contacts right now, or I wouldn't be able to see either.
I only need glasses when I read small print, so I usually just don't wear them unless I'm in front of the computer.
Hey, Rosie. What's up, Elazar?
Yeah, that's a good catch too, Cole. We do have a quarterback change, which we will talk about in a few minutes. And another thing, I don't know if you guys noticed this. I put the opponents on Lambeau's side this week.
I just now noticed it. That's disgusting. Oh, what a nasty side of the screen.
Yeah. And happy holidays to you. That's your Christmas gift from me. You get to look down at Jalen Hurts all show.
You know, I was hoping that Jalen Hurts would be a guy that would slide to the 4th or 5th somehow, and then the Cowboys could have drafted him as a backup. I liked him a lot coming out of college. I'm honestly more scared of Hurts than I would have been of Wentz had Wentz been starting. I like Hurts.
Talk about that for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I had to put my bias aside a little bit when they drafted him because I know a lot of people, as soon as they drafted him, are like, "Oh, he's trash." But I'm like, "Nah, I think he's gonna be a good quarterback."
Hey, that's a good catch too, Cole. I noticed that too. Lambeau's sweatshirt has a little bit of a green tint to it.
It's black. There's no green, man. See, I'm all blacked out, but now that I'm on the Eagle side, it looks like I'm trying to go black and green or something.
Maybe it's the green reflecting.
Yeah, it probably is.
So before we get to Eagles talk, let's talk about this past Sunday's game against the San Francisco 49ers, one of our longtime rivals. I know you didn't get to watch it live, Lambeau, but did you get a chance to go back and watch it on a replay or anything? Or did you just see the lights?
I ended up actually getting to watch it.
Okay.
We were out shopping, but I was streaming it on my phone, and I had my eyes glued to every single snap the entire time we were out. So I actually didn't miss a snap, but I watched it all over the place.
Yeah. What's up, J Tuck? Thank you for joining us. I saw you were live early. I got a chance to catch a little bit of it before I started Bible study, but I'll definitely go back and catch what you and SoFlo, I believe I got the name right, what you guys talked about. And it is rivalry week, and you guys know what that means. We will have a special game prediction for one of our super fans. So if you guys can stay until the end of the show, you will get to see Cowboy Dale wishing you a happy holiday and giving you his game prediction. So
that's gonna be good.
Yeah, I got a chance to see it. That was a really good one. All right, Lambeau, let's talk about this week. And was there anything that kind of stood out to you? Because I made a couple of notes about just some overall things that really stood out to me in this game. If you want me to go first, I will.
Yeah, you could go first.
Okay. So first of all, I've been kind of talking to you guys the past couple of weeks about the fact that it looks like we've changed to doing a little bit more cover 2 zone when we've been a cover 3 team. They threw that cover 2 zone back in there again this week. And if you guys noticed, when they put Wilson at free safety in a cover 2 and his responsibility was deep man, the secondary looked completely different. Donovan Wilson got a pick. If you go back and watch, for the first time, Awuzie was able to turn his head and play the ball. He had his hands on several balls. Probably should have had 2 picks. Anthony Brown got a pick. So I don't know if somebody's been whispering in Mike Nolan's ear, or is Mike Nolan getting phased out and somebody else on that team likes the cover 2 and they start to implement it. But it's been playing off pretty well for the past couple of weeks. Also, another thing, just want to talk about the young guys stepping up.
Yeah.
Gallimore looked like a beast, like he's been looking the past couple of weeks. I just talked about Donovan Wilson, who, I'll be honest, I didn't think he was a free safety coming out of college, but watching him play that free spot this past Sunday completely changed my mind. He can play deep. So that's something we'll talk about in the offseason when we talk about these draft picks and some of these safeties that are kind of looked at pretty high. And one more thing I noticed, we had a couple of Francis Bernard sightings, but they weren't special teams.
Yeah, he made some good special team stops.
He was the only person I've seen all year who probably made more special teams plays than Goodwin. Like, Goodwin's a beast when it comes to special teams. But I saw Bernard beat him down the field a couple times for some tackles. So that plus the combination of Van Der Esch out, maybe we may see Bernard on the field on defense this week.
Yeah, I know Strong Lee's getting a start, I believe. But I think Bernard definitely, that could be a blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
Another thing is there wasn't a whole lot of cute plays, as we call them. There was one. It was I believe it was a reverse on that we lost some good yardage on, but
yeah.
But yeah, not a whole lot of cute plays, and Tony Pollard did get 2 touchdowns. I predicted 2 touchdowns.
He did. You did predict that.
It's 120 yards and 2 touchdowns. I think if you go total yards, I think he had 132 and 2 touchdowns total if you count the receiving. Actually, I like what they did getting him involved in the pass game. He led the team in receptions with 6.
Yeah, I mean, he's a receiver. His whole career is a receiver.
So that's awesome. When you got the receiving talent we had on the field and he catches 6 balls, that's good.
Yeah. Yeah, we are gelling at the right time, Cole. Trying to make that playoff run.
I like that too. I was instantly, as soon as I seen him take off running, I was like, "Ooh, them coaches are gonna get him." Yeah. But I would have did it too.
Let me ask you this question, because somebody on one of the broadcasts brought it up. This was our first kick return since like 2003.
Yeah.
Was that last kick return the Randall Williams on the same thing where they did the onside kick and he ran it back? Was that the last kickoff return?
Yeah, because that came after Woody Dantzler's, right?
That came after Woody, right?
Oh, wow.
Do you think our last 2 kickoff returns have been on onside kicks? I don't know. I have to go back and look at that. But I remember somebody said the last one since like 2006 or something. I was like, was that Randall Williams?
It might be. Ah.
Yeah, it's been turnover city the past 2 weeks, Jack.
Dwayne Harris never took one back.
I don't know if he took one back on kick return. I know he took it back on punt. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's a good question, Cole, about the fullback.
Just to give Pollard some help, maybe.
Yeah, and also
his frame ain't quite as big as Zeke's.
Yeah. And also, if you guys remember the last time Zeke missed a game, Olawale was our running back. It was just him and Pollard. So maybe they activated him as another running back option. You just never know. Because I don't remember really seeing him play in the fullback position.
That's true. That's a good point. That could be what it was. Maybe they knew how comfortable he was with the playbook, and so
Yeah. And I don't care for the screen at all, Mendoza. I'm sick of seeing it. Whenever it's 5 wide, we already know it's going to be a screen pass. Let's just take it out the playbook right now.
and also Noah Brown got a lot of targets.
He did get a lot of targets.
I don't know what was up with that.
Yeah, I was listening to the post game show with Star Gang on Sunday, and I know Jay Tuck pointed that out too about Noah Brown. And I mean, I think it could have just been the plays. They wanted to run quick slants and quick outs, and that's kind of Noah Brown's wheelhouse. That's the only thing I can think of as to why he got so many targets in that game. Oh, one more thing about this game that I noticed. This was probably the first game I can remember where all 3 phases played well. Like this is the first time I can remember special teams was on it. Shouts out to our new punter.
Yeah,
that kid has been balling the past couple weeks.
He has.
It almost makes you kind of forget about the guy you've been pushing all season, Lambo.
Yeah, I wanted Marquette King all off season, but hey, I like this guy.
Yeah.
Either way, we needed an improvement at that position.
Yeah.
So he's doing really good. I think he had one beautiful one, but we had a penalty on the play.
Yeah.
I think it was down on I think the one. Nice wonder. Nice wonder.
Let's hope he sticks around and he doesn't get the Cowboy bad treatment.
Yeah.
I don't want to see Jones come back next year off that injury, and this kid has been giving us 2 or 3 weeks. Jack, I saw the injury report today. He was on the practice field. He wasn't one of the guys listed as not practicing, so I think he's good.
Yeah, it appears he's going to play this week. And I don't know if this will be something he was going to go over later or not, but why is Trayvon Diggs going to be on rotation this week and not starting? Because I came across that on the internet.
My only thought on that one would be maybe they're still trying to phase him in slowly.
The injury?
That injury. I mean, we are technically making a playoff run here, so you want to make sure you have all your guys healthy for the playoffs. And this is probably the second week in a row that our top 4 corners are all healthy. So as much as people bag on Awuzie and Brown, and they've been here 4 years and they've been starters for 4 years. They're not giving us what we want, but they are starting level cornerbacks on this team.
For sure.
And like I said, the combination of that plus those cover 2 looks we've been doing and finally allowing them to not have to play man and not be able to look back for the ball, it's changed how they look to me. They looked a lot better this week. Yeah, and Cole, you're right. Ease your guy back into it. This playoff thing is serious right now. We have a real opportunity. The Redskins are the football team is doing football team stuff, slowly falling apart. They almost didn't have a quarterback this week.
Yeah.
But they can't even suspend him, and they better hope the league doesn't come in and suspend him.
It's starting to get pretty realistic.
Yeah.
That we might sneak into the playoffs with this team.
That would be interesting.
Yeah. Hey, you never know. You never know, man. Like, crazier things have probably happened. Maybe. I don't know. But that would be one for the history books if we won a Super Bowl with this team. That would be wild, man.
To me, it's wild just even considering we could make the playoffs.
What would be crazy is if not only you make the playoffs, you win the Super Bowl, and it's probably be the first time in NFL history that a team with a record that bad had won a Super Bowl. If definitely probably to be the first time that they had no Pro Bowlers on the team and won the Super Bowl. That'd be wild.
Speaking of, let me ask you this question, Lambo. I don't want to get too much in the playoff talk, but I just want to put it out there now. If today started the playoffs, let's assume we went out the Redskins lose our football team. We get the Cardinals first round. Do you think we have a shot after what they did to us the last time we played them?
Yeah, I do.
I mean, we did shut down Hopkins.
That's what I was going to say. I was going to say that would have been my biggest concern, but they've shown that they could do that.
Yeah.
Really, it's just finding a way to spy Kyler and not let him take off, man. And I'm sure they could come up with something more creative. Not only that, but the defensive scheme, like you said, has changed over the recent weeks. And for a huge positive. And I don't think we had Randy Gregory and his speed off the edge back there that game either.
I don't think it may have been his first game, if I'm not mistaken.
Maybe, which he's very limited snaps.
That was his first game back.
Yeah, so very limited snaps,
Yeah.
So,
well, let me ask you this one then. Let's say the 7 seed is the Bucks. Do we have a shot? That's an explosive team, but I don't trust old quarterbacks.
I don't either. I think we have a shot.
I think, like, if you guys pay attention to what the Steelers are doing right now, that team's not falling apart. That old quarterback is. He threw some horrible ducks against the Bengals. He's been doing it the past 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So just something to keep in the back of your minds. If we get to week 17, we'll probably talk about this a lot more, but I just wanted to put it out there now. And Mendoza, thanks for pointing this one out. I was talking about we're going to hit this in storylines, and
yeah.
Lambo, you got anything else you want to talk about with the Niners before we move ahead? It was just a great game.
Yeah, it was a good game, man. Yeah. There was probably something if we would have started the show post game right after the game, I probably would have had a million things to say.
Yeah.
A lot's probably slipped my mind, but at the moment I can't really think about anything else to touch on.
Cole, I can give you the turning point of the season.
That defense.
# addition by subtraction. When they finally got rid of Poe and they finally got rid of the defensive end Griffin, and they got rid of the cornerback Worley, which has been getting torched in Oakland, and they started putting these young guys in.
Started letting guys like Wilson get in there. Started letting Gallimore get those reps.
Right.
And Gallimore's been good too.
When they start to let those young guys get in and actually start to gel and get experience, it's made a world of difference to this defense. And the same thing on offense. As much as we bagged on Terrence Steele, he's looked like an NFL level tackle the past 4 weeks, and that's made a huge difference in our offensive passing game.
He has, and it's just crazy thinking how the O-line's been doing.
Yeah.
I mean, they shouldn't be doing as well as they're doing. I know they get ragged on a lot, but they're doing better than they should be, in my opinion. And I think that's going to give us a whole lot of depth next year.
Yeah.
It's a good depth, like solid depth.
We got a lot to talk about in the offseason with the way these young guys have produced. So hopefully you guys will continue to stick with us, because this is going to be a very interesting offseason to talk about in terms of depth and draft.
Oh, yeah. Draft time will be real fun.
It is.
If we don't make the playoffs, you definitely have to entertain the idea of a Diggs-Surtain duo back there.
All right. You're right. And I'll even say this before we move ahead to Philly. Even if we make the playoffs and lose first round and get pick 18, Surtain Diggs is still on the table. I'm just putting it out there.
Yeah.
Don't you guys fall in love with him too much.
He might not be the first corner.
He may not be the second corner.
Oh.
But even at 18, we could still get that Diggs-Surtain, in my opinion, the Diggs-Surtain combo.
Yeah.
All right, so Lambo, somebody asked a question. We got to follow up on this one. How did Bourne catch that Hail Mary at the end of the game?
Did that? Oh my gosh, that made me so mad. That made me so mad. Like, I shouldn't have made me mad because we won the game, but I was still like, really? At the end, you're gonna, I don't know, man. How do you let that happen? I think they had the win on their mind.
Yeah.
Really, like if the game was on the line, I don't know. The back of their mind, they're like ready to hit the locker room. Maybe
Yeah.
they just kind of like didn't give that extra. They gave like they didn't give that full 100%. I don't know, man.
It concerned me though. But in a situation like that, I want to see receivers back there. I don't want to see 5'11" corners.
Yeah.
That's one of the problems. Bourne is 6'3". All our corners are they were back there with 5'11" because Diggs was not even one of the end zone corners. He was one of the 1 or 2 yard line tip back corners.
Yeah. Throw CD out there.
Yeah. Put Noah Brown out there. He's 6'4".
Oh, yeah, let him go out there and body somebody. He's got a big frame on him. He's damn near a small tight end size.
So yeah, and we'll talk about that once we get the draft. They do have that football relationship. So definitely something to look out for. I see I got my little cousin coming in. What's up, Buck? Appreciate you joining us tonight from Batesville. And happy holidays to you and the family. All right, Lambo. Well, if that's all we got in terms of that game, we've reminisced and savored that victory as much as possible. So now we want to keep this win streak going, and we want to move ahead to Philadelphia. So first off, let's start with our major storylines for this game.
Storylines.
All right, so the first storyline, just one of those things I noticed, just thinking about the game. You got the two teammates playing against each other, and CeeDee Lamb and Jalen Hurts. So that one should be interesting to see. And you also got the Trayvon Diggs Jalen Hurts because, as you guys know, Hurts started his career off in Bama, and then he transferred over to Oklahoma. And I'm looking forward to seeing that one, to see if Hurts could get that, throw that interception to Diggs and kind of see what that back and forth looks like.
Yeah, that would be cool. It'll be interesting. You know, they'll have a lot to talk about pregame and postgame. Them three.
And let's not forget the last time he played the Eagles, Diggs did have his only 2 interceptions of the year.
Was that the Eagles game?
That was the Eagles game. Yeah, it was Wentz.
Wentz was starting.
It was Wentz, but he got 2 interceptions.
Yeah, Hurts is gonna have some rookie struggles for sure. So this could be a game where Diggs gets him another one. Hopefully, he's on the field enough snaps to get him one.
And this is Hurts' 3rd game, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
So if it is, this is the game where teams finally have enough tape to game plan a quarterback. Yeah. So it works out perfectly for us. It's hard to game plan a quarterback week 1 because you just don't know. And then week 2 is when they actually start changing the playbook over to fit that quarterback's strengths. So now week 3, you've seen them raw, you've seen them with the game plan for him, and now you get to go out there and play him with a full scheme in place. So it should be interesting.
Yeah. Where do you think if Hurts remains on their roster as the starter the rest of the year, where do you think Wentz is at next year? I have this really weird feeling that he could end up in Washington.
Their contract is,
but they can't get out of that contract, I don't think yet. But he wants out.
They can get out of it, but it's gonna hurt. No pun intended. I just thought about that.
Yeah.
That contract, because I looked this up.
This is a pretty big number.
Wentz has a $21 million guarantee that kicks in the 3rd day of the league year. So they would have to trade him before the 3rd day of the league year. And even if they did trade him before that date, they would have a $34 million dead cap hit. But I think his salary would be $35 million. So technically they would save $1 million if they did it. They would just have $34 million of dead cap or something to that effect.
Yeah.
And like Mendoza said, if they do it after the 3rd day of the league year, then that base salary becomes guaranteed, and then the dead cap hit is $59 million. So they have to act fast if they want to trade him.
That'll be interesting to see what happens there.
And the other problem on top of that is, like I just said, he has a $21 million guarantee. So whoever trades for him, you're gonna have to cut him a $21 million check almost the day you sign him.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be interesting.
It'll be a lot of quarterback controversies going on in the offseason. Sam Darnold, guys like that.
Yeah, and like William just said, then you throw in the way their GM has been kicking the can down the road, as some of the experts like Pat Kirban say, kicking that salary cap can down the road and letting that number build up. And now they're 70 million over the cap, and they really don't have anybody they can cut to get under that. So they may have to go to Wentz and restructure his deal just to get under the cap.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see what they do. Yeah, I could probably name about 5 teams that would be interested in a quarterback. The Niners, the Colts, the Saints. This is Drew Brees last year, guys. Sorry to tell you. The Bucks could be interested, and the Patriots.
Steelers
and
need to start looking.
That's true. That's true.
I thought you remember my buddy Somali gets on here sometimes and watches. He's a huge Steelers fan. Well, we talk a ton of draft when it's draft time, and I was sitting there telling him, man, if I was you guys, I would draft Jalen Hurts.
Mm-hmm.
He's still on the board. They didn't take him, and the Eagles took him. I really thought he was going to go to the Steelers. I really thought that's where he was going. It surprised me that the Eagles took him in the second round.
Big Ben would look really good in that Niners uniform. I know we just talked about that. I just put that one out there. He would look really good in that Niners uniform. I'm not a Niners fan. I just see his skill set fitting that team. It's almost built like the Steelers are. They don't throw it vertical. Everything's horizontal. Their best players are tight end. Strong run game. I just think that would be a great fit for him.
Yeah,
but that's off-season talk. Let's talk about these Eagles.
Yeah.
So some more news. It looks like Van Der Esch may have a high ankle sprain, so he may be out a couple weeks. Marlo, thank you for joining us, and happy holidays to you and all you guys who are joining us right now. So Sean Lee looks like he's going to be the starter this week.
Yeah, and I think I seen the LVE could have some kind of. No, don't quote me. I swore I seen something about it could have some ligament issue going on there too.
Yeah.
But yeah, that'd be interesting. Sean Lee, I know he's ready. I mean, I don't know if his body's physically ready, but his mind is always ready. He seems pretty happy about it.
Yeah. Mendoza, I don't know what's going on with Gifford. I know he was suspended about 2 weeks ago for I think a PED.
Yeah.
Thing. So
I'm still waiting. I still want to see him on the field.
Yeah.
I really would like to see him on the field. I still think he has a ton of potential.
I think if something happens to Sean Lee, or even in the rotation, I think it's going to be Joe Thomas next man up.
Yeah.
I would love for it to be Bernard, but I feel like it's going to be Joe Thomas.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And Jeff, from the way things are going, it looks like it might happen later. Yeah.
I think it's going to happen.
But I'm looking forward to seeing Sean Lee in this game. Playing against a rookie quarterback. He's a smart guy. He does something that our other two linebackers haven't figured out yet, and that's reading the quarterback's eyes. That's one thing I've always noticed about Sean Lee, and I've also noticed about our linebackers. They never read the quarterback's eyes when it's time for the ball to get thrown. And if Jalen would just read the quarterback's eyes, he would probably have 5 interceptions this year. I don't know what he looks at when he's in space. Now, when Hurts runs the ball, that's when we have some problems with Sean Lee. But if they let him play their zone and just read the middle of the field,
yeah,
this one could be interesting.
Yeah, it's gonna be I think it's gonna be a tight game.
Yeah. I know this is off-season talk, but Mendoza put it up there. If Sean Lee says, you know what, I think I got another year in me and the season's over Lambeau, do you re-sign him? or watch him go to Oakland?
Oh man, the fan in me is like, the fan side of me is like, yeah, just because the loyalty, the feeling of, I just feel loyal towards longtime players and stuff like that. But if I'm the GM, I'm not bringing them back for another year.
Yeah,
There's just too many young guys that have great potential that, I don't know. Like you said,
yeah.
Gifford and Bernard alone, I think, can both be good linebackers. So I don't know.
And I've always said Joe Thomas could start on about 6 or 7 teams in this league.
He can, yeah.
So, in my opinion, if Nolan leaves, I think Scott McCurley's the DC, the young linebacker coach. He's been with McCarthy forever.
And then Sean Lee's the new linebacker coach.
Sean Lee hops in as the new linebacker coach. That's what I see happening.
That would be great.
I think they convince him to take that linebacker spot. They bring McCurley up. He's a young guy. You bring in Sean Lee, who knows the organization better than anybody, and let those two guys kind of work together along with George Edwards, who's also a linebackers guy. So now you got 3 veteran linebacker guys kind of working together at your DC position, with your DC position. Jack Meeker. Oh, Marlo, we can just stop talking about this one.
It ain't gonna happen, but we've talked about it. We've wanted to see it, but I will say he is getting a lot better at that left guard spot.
Yeah, he is.
He is starting to actually get slightly impressive, and the depth we have behind Smith and Collins now is starting to look very solid at tackle. So
Yes.
I'm starting to feel more comfortable with the tackles now.
Yeah, and we still also have Cam Irvin who signed a 2-year deal last year, so he's coming back. And also we still have Mitch Hyatt, who's one of my favorite tackles out of Clemson. I think he's more of a guard than a tackle, but they still play him at tackle. He's coming back next year. Jack Meeker asked who's going to start at nose this week. I believe they're going to let Justin Hamilton start at the nose tackle spot. Big D tackle by 330. And we still have Eli Anku, who looked very well this week playing against the Niners. He helped take on some double teams that allow Gallimore to play one-on-one, which is something he hasn't done all season. But yeah, Mitch Hyde did get killed, Jeff, but I still got faith in him. That's one of my favorite guys from Clemson. All right, see, we got a couple other comments. Zach Wilson talk, not even entertaining it. To be honest, watching this kid play, he won't even be available. He's going top. I think he's going top 7, in my opinion. I think we had 3 quarterbacks go 7. And I'm looking at Washington for this guy. Brian asked about Kellen Moore, which is another kind of storyline that's been out. Yeah. Boise State looking for a coach. Kellen Moore is I believe the winningest quarterback in college football history still. Boise State alum, took them to a BCS game. He's Boise State royalty. So they would love to have him come in and coach their team.
Yeah. I'm curious what you think about that, because I've seen people say, good, he should have been gone a while back, and that. But I also see when we actually have our quarterback on the field, who is very important, that our offense is pretty highly ranked in terms of yards and whatnot. I don't know. How do you feel about that? Like, you think that's addition by subtraction, possibly, or?
Well, let me say this before I even say whether or not we should keep them. The average, the top level NFL coordinators make about $1 million. That's top level. I would probably say Kellen Moore's probably making just below that, 800,000, 900,000, something like that. The average college coach for a top college averages $2 million. And they normally sign deals that are at least 5 years. And those deals are usually 100% guaranteed. So even if the fan base and the alumni run a coach off after 3 years, the school still has to buy him out for that deal that he signed.
That sounds like a good move to make then.
So we're talking about $800,000 to be the coordinator or $2 million to be the head coach at 100% guaranteed. If I'm Kellen Moore, I'm looking at that and I'm like, you know what? They love me. I'm probably going to get 5 years just off of the hype train and the love that they have for me. That's $10 million I don't think I can turn down.
Yeah, it probably won't really matter what we think about him or what the Cowboys think about him because he'll probably take that and run.
The only way we could keep him is if they fired McCarthy and gave him our head coaching job. That's my opinion.
Which won't happen.
I don't think that'll happen, but stranger things have happened. But that's the only way I think we keep Kellen Moore if there's serious consideration for him as that head coach for Boise State.
And if that does happen, it'll be interesting to see where we go from there.
Yeah, that would be interesting. I don't know where we would go. Would it be my thoughts would be we would probably bring Joe Philbin up and probably bring back Colombo. That would just be me connecting dots.
Yeah.
McCarthy loves Joe Philbin as his OC. And I feel like the only reason Philbin's not the OC is because Jerry wanted Kellen Moore to stay.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of interesting talk that we'll have in our season when we start connecting these dots.
Romo leaves the booth. Here he comes. OC.
All right. Romo makes $14 million.
Yeah, he's living good. He's living good.
He would not take a head coaching job. That's a pay cut for him.
Yeah, not only that, but the time away from family. Yeah, it'll never happen. Like as a fan, I would love to see it, but it would never happen.
Never happen. I mean,
maybe in 20 years.
It took the Raiders $10 million to get John Gruden out of the booth, and John Gruden wasn't even a top paid commentator.
Right.
It would take $20 million a year to get Romo out of the booth. And Jeff, like I said, McCarthy loves Joe Philbin. If something would have happened to Kellen Moore, I think Joe Philbin would be the OC. I don't think we would go outside and bring in whatever hot name people are going to throw out there. All right, you guys are really bringing the comments. We're at 38 minutes, and we haven't even finished storylines yet. So thank you guys for keeping the show going. And again, happy holidays to all you guys who just joined us. We normally try to stay at 40 minutes, but I think we may go to an hour tonight because we still want to talk about a couple of matchups and get these game predictions in. So let me hit the last storyline now, but before we go, the last storyline is Zeke Elliott says he's on pace to play this Sunday, coming off that calf injury. And I don't know if you've ever had a calf injury before, but that's almost like a Achilles. It's painful.
Yeah.
I think it's a 3 to 6 week injury, and I feel like he's kind of rushing himself to come back if he's saying he's on pace to play.
I kind of feel that way too, and I know players say it ain't all about stats to them, but I think in the back of his mind he wants to get past that 1,000 mark.
Yeah. And honestly, he saw Tony Pollard go for over 100 yards total offense, 2 touchdowns, 40-yard run, and he's kind of in the back of his mind like, I don't know if I can let him do that 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, 6 catches, 63 yards.
Yeah. Like right now, they're just calling it stupid fan talk. But if we see that for a couple of weeks, you got to start to really think, you know what? Can we bring in a lesser back to pair with Pollard and let this thing roll?
It's a touchy subject because it either makes some fans really mad, or they agree. I'm kind of that guy that's like, I was happy when we drafted Zeke. I love Zeke. I'm a Zeke fan. I own a lot of Zeke gear, so I'd definitely be sad to see him go. But like at the same time, I try to think a little bit realistic with the way the cap is right now and stuff.
Exactly.
And it's it's not smart. It's really not smart to carry that much money at the running back position.
Yeah.
It's just been proven over and over and over and over and over and over again across the league that these rookies continue to produce. It seems like if you look at a lot of these guys, a lot of them, their best seasons come on that rookie contract.
Yep.
And then it just slowly dwindles from there, usually year 5, 6 or so. I mean, It's sad. You want to keep a guy around, but it'll be interesting because the way I seen Pollard and Rico Dowdle splitting out of the backfield, it seemed like that was perfect for what this team needed, really. I would like to see Zeke and Pollard get that kind of split, though, this week.
What you just said, Big Game James has been screaming for the past 5 years. You don't pay a running back because they fall off after you pay them. And Laquan Stribling sounds like a new name, so thank you for joining us. This could be a smoke screen. You're right. They could just throw the Eagles' game plan off.
Yeah, he could be in line for 7, 8 carries, and he knows it, but, a little bit of strategy there.
Jeff, you know how much I love Aaron Jones. I think it's already been looking bad for him because every year when we get to November, we start to see a 50-50 split with the backup. It happens every year.
Look at Jaguars running back.
Yeah.
James Robinson.
Yeah, they got rid of Leonard Fournette for James Robinson, who nobody heard of.
Okay, where Leonard Fournette was top 10, top 7, something like that, top 5 maybe. He's 4 to 6, I think, range. Pick 4 to 6, not round. And I'm pretty sure James Robinson was undrafted.
He was.
And the guy is killing it.
Yeah.
Or you just look at all the running backs going in the second round or late first, second round, third round, fourth round. It's just so easy to hit on great backs and get production out of them on a rookie deal for 3-4 years and then just rinse and repeat.
Yep.
It's sad that it's that way, but, I mean, it's the easiest position to really jump right out of the gate and produce.
And going back to what Mendoza said, if the shoes start to drop and the chain reactions go and Kellen Moore leaves and we go to a West Coast, the West Coast, I mean, Zeke is an amazing running back. He could fit any scheme, but it's not a perfect fit for his skill set. It fits more of a Tony Pollard type guy because you're almost going exclusive shotgun and every player is treated like a receiver. The short pass to the running back is an extension of the run game at that point.
I absolutely love Zeke running the ball, but I will say it brought a little bit to this offense when Pollard was able to get out there and really get those targets in the passing game like that, just because of how quick and fast he is and how good he is as a receiver.
Yeah.
Man, it's a tough situation.
All right, well, guys, thank you for sticking with us. Everybody who's still with us, we're about to go to our next segment next, and then we're also going to do our game predictions. So if you're still here with us, make sure you stick with that so I can get your game predictions, and also make sure you hang with us so that you can see the game prediction from our super fan Cowboy Dale. So now let's move on to our next segment, which is the key matchups in this game.
Key matchups.
All right, so first key matchup I got to talk about. When I look at last week's game, Leslie Dunn Floyd, thank you for joining us. We'll be doing game predictions soon, so we'll let you know what we think. And also Cowboy Dale let you know what he thinks as well. So first matchup, the only negative I saw in that Niners game was that defensive end/tackle was killing us. And now we have to face Fletcher Cox, who's at worst top 5 defensive tackle in the league. I'll probably put him top 3 behind Chris Jones and Aaron Donald. But now we got to face this guy. What do you think we can do to neutralize him? Because he had a dominant game the last time we played him as well. He got a sack and he set up a couple of sacks, specifically that fumble that was taken back for a touchdown.
They're gonna have to game plan for him. He's the the guy on that defense that they need to game plan for. Come up with some kind of strategy. Of course, get the ball out quick. Some quick screens, slants, things like that. But they're gonna have to find a way to game plan for him. You would probably know better than me. You did some O-line. What those guys need to do down there.
Well, one thing I'll say about the last week's game, he got a lot of his work off of stunts, where they would put him at D tackle and stunt with the end, or they would put him at end and stunt with the tackle. And there was some confusion between Looney, McGovern, and Steele as to who to pick up and who to trade off the guys to. And he really took advantage of that. I believe he had 2 sacks. One of them, I think it was playing end, and McGovern and Looney just got confused, and he just had an open run. And then the second one, it looked like it was supposed to be a double team, but somebody didn't help, and he was able to take advantage of that inside leverage not being there and just beat the guy inside. So the Eagles don't do a lot of stunts, so that works in our favor. So hopefully if they play him straight up, they won't do the same thing Armstead did. One thing I do know about the Eagles is they like to put Fletcher Cox one-on-one with the weakest spot. So
yeah,
talked about how good Connor Williams has looked the past couple of weeks. Don't be shocked to see him line up in front of Williams quite often to see if he can take advantage of that strength difference.
Yeah, that'll be the biggest thing, the strength difference there. That's one of Connor Williams' area he needs to improve on is strength.
Yeah, and you're right. Armstead is a free agent. They had to choose between Armstead and the guy that went to the Colts, and they chose to keep Armstead. So to me, that kind of sounds like they may be leaning on him being their kind of bell cow guy going forward. But they got a lot of big contracts on their defense, so something's got to give. Because they still have D Ford, who signed a big deal last year and he got hurt this year. So Armstead may be available, something to keep on track of during the offseason. And like Mendoza said, the D-line is the best part of their defense. They had 4 sacks against us the last time they played, including that fumble that was taken back for a touchdown. But that was Ben DiNucci at quarterback. So should be a little bit different this time. Terrence Steele's playing a little bit better.
Yeah. While we're talking about O-line, did you see also where Mike McCarthy said that Zach Martin was improving and that he wouldn't rule him out as not playing for the rest, or he would not rule out him not playing for the rest of the season. So there's still that slight chance if we get this playoff push going that Zach Martin would be back.
I think if he made the playoffs, he's definitely coming back. I don't see them being able to keep him on the sidelines for a playoff run.
Oh, no, he'll be there.
Yeah. All right, so I just brought up Ben DiNucci. The last time we played, he was our quarterback. This time we got Andy Dalton. If you guys remember that game, DiNucci looked pretty good in the few throws he made. They did do a lot of a lot of receiver pass in that game. DiNucci did lead the team inside the 30, 40-yard line twice. He fumbled both times, but we did get inside that mark. And now we got Andy Dalton. He's been playing well. Their cornerbacks are horrible. That's our next key matchup we'll talk about. So we can kind of talk about the addition of Dalton and our receivers versus their corners together. How do you feel about that advantage? Because they like to let Slay trail Cooper.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he did a good job last time against Cooper or was it the quarterback play, but Gallup had a pretty good game the last time we played them. So what do you think this week? Who's the receiver that you're looking at to be kind of the guy?
I've been riding CeeDee Lamb a little bit lately, but I'm gonna go Lamb again this week.
Yeah, can't blame you.
He is, if he gets, is it 94 yards a game the next 2 games, he will break that 1,000-yard receiving mark. And I believe the rookie record is held by, is it Bob Hayes?
Bullet Bob.
1,003 yards, if I'm remembering right.
Something like that, yeah.
So, I don't know. He's a young guy. I think he wants to hit that mark. Obviously, he can't throw the ball to himself, but like you said, I think Cooper was a little bit limited last time he went against Slay.
He was,
which seems to be a common theme when he plays Slay. I think CD has a big game. Gallup's, he practiced, but who knows if that injury is going to linger a little bit.
Yeah, you're right.
So we'll see.
Okay. Another matchup just on the Eagles side. The last time we played, we talked about We talked about Diaz getting 2 interceptions, but Travis Fulgham had a pretty good game against Diggs. He had a couple of big catches. He had a touchdown. So you think he's going to get the better of him again, or you think we're going to kind of neutralize him a little bit this game?
Well, considering I don't believe Diggs will be starting this time. It'll be interesting to see how many snaps he gets.
Well, the last week's game, he played 43 out of 79 snaps. So even though he didn't start, he still played over 50.
A ton. Yeah.
So I don't think he's going to barely play or be just third down. I think he's going to be in a heavy rotation with both guys if he doesn't start altogether.
And Fulgham had 6 catches, 78 yards, and a touchdown that last time. That was on 7 targets, so pretty efficient.
He was very efficient that game.
It'll be interesting. He's fell off since that game. Big time.
Yeah.
Big time. He had, The next game against the Giants, he had 1 catch for 8 yards. Then against the Browns, 1 catch for 8 yards again. And then 2 catches for 16 yards against Seattle. 0 catches against Green Bay.
Yeah. Green Bay's secondary was amazing, though.
Yeah. So it's almost like that's I don't know. I think he'll have the best game of the receiving core. It's about time for him to turn it around.
Yeah.
I see a lot of red here on this chart, and that's not going to last forever. So, we'll see. I think he'll have a couple splash plays. I don't think he'll completely blow up on us or nothing like that, but I do think he'll have a big play or two.
Yeah. And I see a lot of people talking about Rager and Ward and Hightower. Those are good things to good people to bring up. What I will say about that is, when you have a quarterback who's been your backup all year, he's normally playing with the number 2 receivers, the Greg Wards, the Hightowers, the Ragers. So when he gets the chance to start, those are the guys he has chemistry with. And Fulgham has been pretty much their number 1 guy all year. So I could see it being not Fulgham just regressing. Hurts is just more familiar with those receivers, and that's kind of who he looks at. They're young rookies and young guys as well. They're probably the guys he hangs with after practice and play 2K with or whatever. Stuff like that really matters in the NFL. But I wouldn't be shocked to see Fulgham have a decent game this week. But I'm watching Rager inside in that slot also because he's kind of been stepping up lately. All right, so somebody else, I think it was Mendoza, brought up another key matchup that I wanted to hit on. Let me see if I can find it. It was related to our defensive line versus their offensive line. Lambo, if you see it, let me know. Okay, it was Marlowe. He says the Eagles' offensive line versus whoever is our nose tackle and 3 tech. And to me, this was going to be really interesting because they got a lot of backups inside. Gallimore's playing well. I think they named Justin Hamilton the starter, so we finally have a big nose tackle who can take on double teams to allow Gallimore to play a little bit more one-on-one ball. Yeah. And then we still got Randy Gregory coming off the edge against their backup tackle and D-Law, who had a sack and a half the last time we played them.
Yeah.
So, Lambo, you think our defensive line to get the better of their offensive line again this time we play them?
Actually do. I think so.
Defensive line has looked good the past 3 weeks.
It has looked good. I feel like it's going to continue to improve. And I feel like this is a gut thing. I don't really have anything behind it to go off of, but I feel like Gallimore is going to show up a lot this week.
I do too.
I just have a really good feeling about him showing up this week. So,
and I see people coming in with my last key matchup, and that's Dallas Goedert versus our linebacking core with the elder statesman Sean Lee now replacing Leighton Vander Esch. And then we know what Jalen does when he is playing in
pass coverage.
Oh, here's something else I want to point out that I thought was funny. Every major play Donovan Wilson has made this year has been on the guy that Zeke's been covering. If you go back to the Dalvin Cook play, Zeke got beat, and Wilson came and made that big tackle. If you go back and watch that interception Wilson got, Jalen got beat bad, and Donovan Wilson saw it and just came down as soon as he saw Jalen get beat. Go back and watch that play and watch how quick Donovan Wilson reacted as soon as he saw that the receiver go behind Jalen, and Jalen didn't even see him.
It's almost like he notices.
Right. It's good that we have a safety who watches the field and sees stuff happen, but it's bad when you go back and watch it and you're looking at Jalen stand there, and it looks like he's looking right at the quarterback, and the receiver just runs right behind him. And then it's like he looks, oh, there's the guy right there. And then he starts to take off, but he was like 5 yards behind him, and then Donovan Wilson cleans it up for him.
Yeah. Thank goodness we have a safety that's watching that, watching for that, because it happened a lot, even early in the season especially.
Yeah, and back to key matchups and storylines, Xavier Woods missed practice this week, so we don't know if he's going to play. And if he doesn't, that means we get another week of Wilson at free safety, which I'm really loving.
Yeah, I'm kind of for that because I would like to see – I would like to continue to see what he can do there.
Yeah.
And this is something that does have me worried too, William, a little bit. Kyler killed us. Lamar killed us.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen has – I mean, not Jalen. Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts.
Last week he had 11 carries for 63 yards, 5.7 average, and a touchdown. Before that, he was 18 carries for 106 yards, 5.9. The week before that, 5 for 29, 5.8, and that was on a limited game. But yeah, he's averaging well over 5 yards every time he takes off. So
yeah,
that'll be
keep our eye on.
That'll be one of the keys to the game, for sure, is containing him.
Yeah. And Jack, like you said, we'll see because Rashard Robinson looks like he's going to be out. We don't have a lot of safety help, so maybe this will be a week we see Robinson finally get some snaps on the field. And Jeff, I wish I knew why they were holding Wilson back. You know, we've been talking about that since week 2 preseason of 2018. Why we haven't seen them, but we're getting them now. I'm glad it's not too little too late when we get into the draft and we draft some safety who used to play corner in the first round, and then we have to play him over Wilson. I don't even want to get in that talk because that pissed me off.
Yeah.
We finally got a guy who played safety to play safety. So that's pretty much all I got in terms of key matchups. It's going to be an interesting game. The last time we played them, the score was 23-9, Dallas, and that's a little bit deceptive because, like I said before, we actually were down 16-9. We had got in the red zone about to score, and then Ben DiNucci fumbles the ball, and they run it back for a touchdown. So that game was a lot closer than the scoreboard suggests with a backup quarterback. So now, Lambo, I guess we'll go to the last segment of the night, and that is game predictions. So do you want to give our game predictions first, or do you want to let our special guest give his?
I think I'll go ahead and let him.
All right. So I know a lot of you guys have been waiting. You know what? Let's wait a minute. So guys, we're gonna have Cowboy Dale come on with this game prediction. So I know we have a lot of Cowboy Dale fans in the room. So while Lambo and I give our game predictions, make sure you share this video. Share it to your personal page, share it to your favorite page. For anybody who hasn't seen Cowboy Dale, make sure to share and let them know. You want to see this guy because he's a real character.
He's
and
a
he's
crazy madman.
He's a crazy madman. He's going to bring it for the holiday season. So while Lambo and I give our game predictions, make sure you like and share this video. So Lambo, before we see Cowboy Dale, we'll give our game predictions.
Game prediction.
And guys, as always, the show is fueled by you. We appreciate all your great comments. Let us know what your game predictions are for this game as well. Put them in the comments so I can write them down. And if someone hits it on the head, we'll try to get you a prize. To just say thank you for watching and for being accurate on your pick.
Thank you for sharing, Jack.
Yeah. Beer game comes in immediately, 2017. Lambo, you want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
I feel like it's going to be very close, and it is going to be a very close win. 34-31 Cowboys.
You said 34-31?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We got Jeff with 31-24. Jack. You know what? I'll write these in while people watch the video because I see they're coming in pretty fast. All right, for me, like I said before, last game was a lot closer than the scoreboard suggested. I don't think Hurts is gonna have 3 turnovers like Wentz had. I do expect a turnover or two because our defense has been playing well. I don't expect us to turn it over in the red zone like we did last time. Like I said before, we could have won that game. I expect that that Andy Dalton will capitalize on the stuff that Ben DiNucci didn't, because we should have had 17 points. He gave up 2 touchdowns, and we had to settle for field goals.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy when you think about it. We had Ben DiNucci in that game when we got in the red zone, 6 times? 2 times were turnovers, 3 times were fumbles, and 1 time was a sack where he got us out of field goal range.
Yeah.
So we got in the red zone 6 times with this guy, and he just didn't capitalize. If we do that this week, we should blow them out of the water.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, if we get in there if we get in the red zone 6 times, we should win this game.
Yeah. And I think that's kind of, I see some high scores. I think you guys are kind of thinking the same way I'm thinking. And Lambo with 34 points, I'm pretty sure you're probably thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
So I don't expect it to be as high as some of you guys are putting. I'm putting the score 27-17.
Okay. I'll take that.
Like I said before, they should have only had 16 points last time we played. And they got a lot of stuff off turnovers. I think we score a couple times, a couple touchdowns, a couple field goals. So 27-17, I think that's going to be the score for me. And now you guys keep your comments coming in with your scores. And without further ado, super fan Cowboy Dale will be giving us his game prediction. So guys, be sure to share this. Be sure to like it. Let us know what you think.
Hey, Eagles fans. You want to hear a scary story? The playoffs are on the line these last few weeks of the season. The Eagles got Wentz on the bench, so they finally feel like they have a chance, man. Then Hurts gets hurt. Wentz has to come back in the game, man. And you know what that means. Wentz comes in the game, plays the whole second half, and the Hot Boys are back, man. 4 sacks in the second half on Carson Wentz after Hurts gets hurt. And we're going to win the game, man. We're still in this thing. Don't give up, Cowboys Nation. That's my prediction of what's going to happen today. Cowboys are going to win 28-24, man. Hey, we're going to clip them wings, baby. Ow! That's how Cowboy Dale does it. Hey, man. For real, though, hope everybody has a Merry Christmas, man. And a blessed Merry Christmas. And, hey, thanks for tuning in, y'all. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. See y'all later.
And so tune in on the page, man. Ow!
All right, guys, and there you have it. Game prediction from your favorite super fan, Cowboy Dale.
Horror movie sound effects are on point.
So Cowboy Dale has a score of 28-24. All the scores look pretty close this week. Nobody has the same score. Let me see. Yeah, nobody has the same score. Everybody has them high 20s, low 30s. So it's gonna be interesting. See if anybody hits it this week.
You know what? I just realized Bobby McClain is not tuned in. He would have liked that one.
Yeah. So now you got to post it and tag him in it since he's not here.
Sound effect.
He loves the Cowboy Dale videos.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we're at 1 hour 8 minutes, at 9:41. So I think we're about to get out of here. So as usual, thank you guys for joining. We appreciate the support. Lambo and I are just two fans who enjoy the Cowboys and decided to get together and start a podcast and see if anybody else felt the way we felt. And we've truly been blessed by the support that we've been getting from all you guys. Myself, Lambo, Superfan Cowboy Dale. We appreciate you guys continuing to join us every week. And we hope you continue to join us as we move to Thursday nights at 7:30 after the season ends. So, again, just happy holidays to all you guys. We really appreciate your support.
Yeah, definitely. Like Marcus said, I agreed with all that. And also, thanks, Jack. Merry Christmas to you as well, man. And everybody. Merry Christmas to all you guys. Start a podcast training.
We're still podcasters in training.
Yeah, really. learning as we go.
Yeah, when I look at some of the people I've been watching forever, and I talk to these guys, and it's like they've been doing it 5, 6, 10 years. It's crazy to think that Law Nation has been around for like 8 years now.
Yeah.
It seems like he's only been around like a year or two. He's like 7, 8 years in the game. I go back and watch old videos when the beard was like where mine is, and now his beard is like the ear.
I still swear he's James Harden.
So yeah, definitely we appreciate all you guys for sure. And Jeff, when we get to the off season, like Lambo and I, we like to keep it football during the season. It's so much stuff to talk about. We literally talked an hour about just last week's game and this week's game. So we don't really have a lot of time to talk about fan speak and hypotheticals. We'll throw some in every once in a while, but for the most part during the season, we focus on season stuff. When we get to the off season, that's when we can start to have fun we can talk about some of these storylines people like to throw out. And we can also bring more fan engagement in because we got some stuff coming up.
I actually love off-season shows more than in-season shows, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, off-season, we're going to have some guests in. We're going to have fans coming in.
I'm sure we'll have fans, former players, probably get cheerleader, some stuff like that.
Yeah, we're going to have some fans come on video a whole lot more in the off-season. We got a couple of things planned. So make sure you guys continue to stick with us on that. All right. And thank you, Mendoza. We appreciate your support.
Thank you.
I know you watch probably more Cowboy podcasts than I do, which is insane to think about because I thought I watched every one that came out. But every time I see one, I see you right there with me. And it's a couple of them you watch that I'm not even on. So for the fact that you join and watch us knowing how much you watch, I appreciate you, and happy holidays to you as well. Yeah, it does feel like the season just started, Jack. It's crazy. We're at week 16 already.
Yeah, it's went by fast, man. It just went by fast. Merry Christmas, Jeff.
Yeah, and Jeff, thank you as well. I know you do a lot of stuff with Block Party ATL, and you literally jump off that podcast and then come over here and get in our comments. So we appreciate your support and dedication to the Cowboy Zone also. All right, Lambo. So with that being said, let's go ahead and hit him with that social media.
Please, guys, come hit me up on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, and Patreon at Cowboys Y'all. Instagram is at Cowboys Y'all 88. But most importantly, please subscribe on YouTube and hit the little bell because it helps greatly. And I really would like to get to 1,000. So thank you guys, and I hope everyone has a Merry Christmas.
All right, guys, you can find me on Facebook at Bluff City Cowboys. You can find me on Instagram, Bluff City Cowboys. I promise I'll try to do better on Instagram. I rarely post on there. Twitter, I'm at Bluff Cowboys. And like Lambo said, you can find me on YouTube at Bluff City Cowboys. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, and also make sure you hit that little bell so that you'll be notified anytime that we go live. I think that's pretty much it for the Cowboy Zone. Again, happy holidays to all you guys. We hope you enjoy your holidays with your family and your friends. And we look forward to seeing you guys this Sunday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time for our pregame show where we'll do bold predictions and update you on the injury report. Lambo, got anything else to say before we get out of here?
I did want to mention anybody that like the Cowboy Dale stuff, you can find those videos on my Cowboys Y'all page, all the old ones that he's done. And in the off season, I will have Cowboy Dale videos a lot more, so that'll be something to look forward to, once we get out of the season, a lot more of those videos. So thanks again for watching, guys.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching again, and happy holidays to you guys. I'm Marcus. This is Lambo, and we are out.